with allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, shoot.
Could I have Brent and Brian Cadrews come up to the microphone, please? Could you fellows lead us through the Pledge of Allegiance again, please? Please stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Stay right there, fellas. I apologize for that. I have no one to blame but myself. Tell us why you're here and what's going on with your badge.
We're here to work on citizenship in the community because that's our last badge before we can do our Eagle project.
Do you have an Eagle project laid out?
We're still thinking.
What's your ideas?
I was thinking about fixing a bridge in Greg Park.
What do you feel about replacing a boardwalk?
Yeah, that'll take too long.
Yeah, I like your idea, though. The bridge, that's a good idea. We appreciate you guys coming. Anything else you want to say?
No.
You sure?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen.
You're welcome.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Call the roll, please.
Cedar,
Here.
Ellery,
Here.
Kinsfater.
Here.
Kleeman,
Here.
Koopa,
Here.
Laporte,
Here.
McCartney,
Here.
all present, Your Honor.
Thank you. And for people's information, that's Brent and Brian Cadrew. All right? And at this moment, I'm just saying, because I messed that up, if you guys want to dismiss yourself from this meeting, you can stay. You're certainly welcome to stay. And I think maybe because of your badge, you probably should stay. So let's just retract that last statement. I'm on a roll tonight, everybody. Watch out, I don't know what's going to happen next. Motion to close? No, I'm just kidding. All right, consent agenda, City Council minutes of January 3rd, 2018, regular and closed meeting recommendation to approve.
Motion to approve. Support.
Motion's been made, supported. Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we're going to go to number 5, ordinance and resolution. Resolution 18-1, approve annual poverty exemption policy and guidelines. Lynn.
The State Tax Commission performs an annual review of the local units. They do that every 5 years. And one of the requirements is that we have this resolution approving the annual poverty exemptions as set forth by the federal government. They give us new poverty guidelines every year. We've been following them, but we've never had a resolution done to actually do that annually. So that's what this is for.
I move to approve. Support.
All right, the motion made, support. Questions? Call the roll, please.
Kinsfater,
Yes.
Kleeman,
Yes.
Koopa,
Yes.
Laporte,
Yes.
McCartney,
Yes.
Ellery,
Yes.
Cedar,
Yes.
resolution adopted, Your
All
Honor.
right, thank you. Stay right there, Lynn, right?
Yeah.
We're going to do B, Resolution 18-2, waive the penalties on property transfer affidavits for real property, non-industrial, commercial.
The discussion will be the same for both resolutions. Back in 1994, the voters approved Proposal A, and as they evolved over the years, one of the things that the state gave the local units the option was to either charge for non-industrial commercial $5 a day up to $200 if they're 45 days or later filing the property transfer affidavit. We've never charged that, but I could not find a resolution on anywhere that says that we've approved not to charge that. Just so you know, we get most of our PTAs, we probably have a 98, 99% return on getting those. So really that penalty, and it cannot be a lien on the property, it's an invoice that gets sent out by the treasurer. If they don't pay it, then you have the choice of either going further to try to collect it, but we haven't really had a problem with it.
Did we come up with the $5, or does that come from the state?
That's a state law. That's part of the property transfer affidavit that came out of Proposal A.
All right.
I make a motion we approve.
All right, there's been a motion made to approve. Any support?
I'll support.
Motion's made, support. Any questions? Call the roll, please.
Kleeman,
Yes.
Koopa,
Yes.
Laporte,
Yes.
McCartney,
Yes.
Ellery,
Yes.
Kinsfater,
Yes.
Cedar.
Yes.
Resolution adopted, Your Honor.
Thank you. C, 18.3, waive penalties on property transfer affidavits for real property, industrial, commercial.
The reason I separated those is because if you look at the memo I gave you, the penalties for if you don't file for industrial and commercial properties is a lot more. But I have not had a problem with getting people to file. All I have to do is send them a letter and say, you know, you could be assessed this penalty, and they file. So that is why I'm recommending that we would just waive the penalties for that one also.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Any support to that motion?
I'll support.
All right, the motion made and supported. Questions?
I just,
So we,
why is one different than the other? I guess I'm trying to wrap my head around.
Because typically the purchase price is a lot more for commercial and industrial. So that is why they separated them for non-commercial industrial than for commercial industrial.
Well, why would we waive a fee that we could collect for neglect on the person that's doing the buying or selling of an industrial piece of property? I'm just posing the question.
You don't
I mean,
have.
why is it our responsibility to waive a fee for
Oh, okay,
someone that
because this-
neglects to do what they should be doing to carry the exemption?
Okay, the state law allows the local unit. The local unit is the only one that can waive this fee if they don't wish to charge.
Just, that's my question. I'm wondering why we would do that. I mean, we
haven't-
give away so much personal property and property abatements, and then we seem to, this is asking us to police a transfer. Am I wrong? Am I reading it wrong?
Mr. Booth, didn't we just have this where one of the companies didn't have the paperwork in?
that's the paperwork I think you're referring to on the IFTs, maybe?
Lynn,
Two different items then.
if they didn't file their property transfer affidavit, what would happen if this fee wasn't here? If we get away with the fee, what happens if they don't do it?
Nothing.
We'd have no leverage.
So if this stays, we have some recourse.
I mean, yeah, why wouldn't we have an enforcement tool on
Well, why wouldn't
something
you do
that
that with
costs
the other
us?
one too?
So we should have approved this then.
Sounds like either one of them.
To be honest, it has not been a problem since I've been here.
No, but
That
Murphy's
we've gotten
Law.
them to file their property transfer affidavits. They file them automatically now.
I'm just posing a question for.
Yeah, and the property transfer affidavit is something you file when there's a transfer of property or a sale.
I guess why did this come before us tonight?
Because we're supposed to have a resolution, and when the state comes in and they audit the assessing records, they make sure all these resolutions are on file.
So we're supposed to have this resolution?
You either have the
is supposed-
resolution, if you don't have the resolution, that means we have to charge, and then we have to show that we charged, that we assess someone that fee.
Lynn, you're telling us that you've never had a problem with this.
No.
If we pass this and in the next year you have 5 problems, can you come back and we just make a new resolution and reinstate it?
We could.
Are you sure we could? Are you sure we can do that? You can reverse the resolution. So if we pass this resolution and next year you come to us and say, we've had 5 commercial properties that didn't file, we can reverse the resolution and charge them? You sure?
I'm not positive, no.
Okay, so let's just be sure. I mean, maybe the motion should be to table it until we have more information.
There is no hurry to pass this resolution, just so you know.
I mean, I agree with you, Bill, but I mean, if we can't undo it,
Mr. Downey, you want to weigh in on this a little
Can I
bit?
withdraw my motion?
Yes, you may.
I would like to withdraw my motion to approve
I'll withdraw my support.
That was on the last one, 18.
on 18-3. Can I make a motion to table this?
Yes, you may.
I would like to make a motion to table 18-3.
I'd support that
All
one.
right, the motion made and supported the table, 18.3. Questions?
Just like to make sure we direct administration or legal to give us some direction on this if we were to pass a resolution and then and have some issues down the road, if we could change that to enforce collection.
All right, we're going to call the roll on the motion to table.
Koopa,
Yes.
Laporte,
Yes.
McCartney.
Yes.
Ellery,
Yes.
Kinsfater.
Yes.
Kleeman,
Yes.
Cedar,
Yes.
carried, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Lynn.
Thanks, Lynn.
Go to 6, reports of administration, Mr. Booth.
I have just one item. I'd like to make sure that council's aware that at the St. Clair Inn property, they've started footings. I don't know if they're done yet or not. I don't believe they are, but footings for the 3 bungalows on the south end of the property. Building permit was pulled for those.
Has there been any discussion when the roof lines are going to start on the north end?
I don't know that yet. Mr. Katowski, I believe, is coming in later this month, so as I have additional, I'll pass it along.
Thank you.
Any questions for Mr. Booth?
The fencing at the inn, I noticed that they didn't have it closed in this weekend. I mean, is that something that the city is putting on them to have that fence up, or is it their own insurance, or?
They should have it around it.
Okay. I mean, if somebody sees that it's not up, I mean, who do we get hold of on the weekend?
Call me. You have my number.
Okay.
Anybody else? All right, B, anything for Mr. Downey?
Your Honor, there's just one item I'd make a note on. At the November meeting of the Harbor Commission, there was a referral by the Harbor Commission to City Council to consider waiving the general rule, the prohibition on allowing commercial enterprises on city property. There was a business that had made a presentation to the Harbor Commission at that time, and the Harbor Commission recommended that City Council consider waiving that. The matter has not been scheduled before City Council because it appears as though the business has accepted an opportunity to relocate to, or to locate, excuse me. It's a new business, to locate in the city of Port Huron's marina. So to the extent there may be questions raised about this matter on this Harbor Commission referral, the question's been resolved and the applicant's no longer pursuing the waiver.
One question for you, Jim, is will the lease of this north wall for the sailboat, whatever that business is called, will that come back to either the Harbor Commission or City Council for approval again, or was that a blanket approval?
I think that as long as the lease is enforced, then the waiver is, continues to apply. But I understand that business may not be interested in pursuing that any longer.
I just didn't know if it was coming back, if it was what the length of that lease was.
I think that it's an annual lease, but
But does that require a city approval, City Council approval? If it was an annual lease?
in my opinion, the fact that there had been a waiver in the first place would allow the lease to continue on an annual basis.
Okay.
Anything else from Mr. Downey?
So that would not come back to us on an annual review?
In my view, it would not.
We would not.
All right, we will go to C. Trace, Parks and Recs, Michigan Natural Resources Trust Fund Grant, Palmer Park Boardwalk bid schedule.
Thank you. On behalf of the Recreation Department, we wanted to update City Council and the public on the bid schedule for the Palmer Park Boardwalk Replacement Project. The plans will be available, this is a tentative schedule. Plans will be available to bidders on January 22nd. The bids will be due to City Hall on February 5th. We will take some time to tabulate the bids, and we do have to submit them to the DNR for their approval, but we hope to have the bids on the City Council agenda for February 29th for approval. We are planning on posting the bids on the Michigan Intergovernmental Trade Network, which is called MITTEN. This is a group of agencies that have joined forces to create a regional bid notification system to notify companies of new bid opportunities. And AEW is the engineering firm that's putting the bids together. They recommended that the city sign up for this registry. And I gave the information to the city clerk, and she has registered it for us, so we can use this for the boardwalk bid and other bids that the city solicitates. And we also will post the bid on the City Hall bulletin board, and it'll be on our, notice will be on our city website. So I didn't know if you had any questions about the posting of the bid or the schedule.
On the schedule, you said that it comes to council on the 19th or the 20th? You said the 29th.
Did I say the 29th? It should be the 19th. The second, that would be the second scheduled meeting in February.
That's right.
And February 5th, I presume that's going to be the public bid opening?
Yes.
1 o'clock?
Yes.
All right. And one other thing, it says here that notice to be published or posted on the bulletin board. Is that what the charter reads?
The charter, I believe it says yes, or posted. So it gives you the option to publish or post on the bulletin board.
All right, that's in the charter, correct?
Yes.
All right.
Any other questions, Therese?
That's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Teresa.
Go to D, authorities, boards, commissions, committee chairs, council reps. Anybody have anything? No unfinished business. Let's go to number 8. A, Parks and Recreation Master Plan Notice of Review and Public Hearing Request.
Stay up there. It's moving fast.
It's one of them nice trees, trust me.
Okay. All right. The Recreation Commission has been working on updating the City of St. Clair Parks and Recreation Master Plan. The Michigan Department of Natural Resources requires that you have a plan on file so that you're eligible for the grants that they offer, including the Palmer Park grant that we received. A draft of the plan is available for a 30-day public review starting January 17th, and a copy of the plan will be available at City Hall, the St. Clair Library, and it'll also be on our city website. The recreation plan includes a community profile, and it also addresses our administrative structure. It has a recreation inventory of all of our parks. It also includes the public input in the planning process. And if you recall, we did a leadership survey with local officials, and we also had a community survey online. So all of those results were incorporated into the plan. We also included, we included the golf course and the harbor in this master plan, which is something that we haven't done in the past to address some of their needs and capital improvement schedule. So again, the plans will be available for public viewing, and that's a 30-day review process. And we do request that if you have any comments or recommendations for the plan, that you submit them in writing to the Recreation Department. And also, as part of the process, we do have to schedule a public hearing after the 30-day review. So I am requesting a public hearing for the February 19th meeting. That would be after the 30-day review, and that's a regular city council meeting. If we could schedule that at this time, that would be great.
Do we need a motion to do that, Your Honor? I make a motion to schedule that public hearing.
All right, we'll schedule the public hearing for 7 o'clock that night.
Sure.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, Teresa.
Thank you.
All right, B, we have St. Clair County foreclosed properties. In Houston?
We received a letter from St. Clair County Treasurer's Office asking if the city was interested in the properties that did not sell at their August or November tax auction. So they're being offered back to us at no cost. They will not be charging any foreclosed taxes or anything. They're just going to sign them over to us. So there were 4 properties on the list. The first 3 are on Hugo Street, and you got a copy of a map for those. Those properties don't have any access to a public street. The public street of Hugo Street is undeveloped at that point. And then the other property is in Jordan Creek condos. I also gave you a copy of a map for that. The first 4 buildings were developed, but for some reason, whenever they split the property, they must have had an anticipation of developing the first 7 buildings, and so the first 7 buildings were split off given their own property numbers, but the last 3 were never built. So what is coming up for tax sale is an interest in an undeveloped building. So when people call me and say, can you tell me what the lot size is for these? I can't, because the building was never built. It's part of a condominium. The land there is all common area. So a number of years ago, I had talked to the St. Clair County Equalization Director, and he recommended that if the county offered them back to to the city at no cost, that we take them and start accumulating them, and then to talk with legal counsel and see what we can do with them. Like, can we put them back on the common area for the condo association or something to get rid of those, because it's not for any land. So that is what the one is in Jordan Creek. We already have 3 so far. So this 4th one would be in a different building, but it's a start.
So there's no cost to us. and we
There's
don't-
no cost to us.
We don't have to tell the county what we're going to use them for at this time.
No, all they're requesting is that we let them know by January 31st what our intentions are. If we don't take them, then they go on the state site to be sold.
Well, Your Honor, I think it's a no-brainer. I think we should say yes.
Do you need a motion from us to accept these?
We have to give them recommend intentions, what we're going to do. So there has to be something,
All right.
On all the properties?
Yes.
yes.
On the list?
All we have to do is take them now. What we do with them, we can determine at a later date.
I would make a motion to accept the property.
Support.
All right, the motion is made and supported. Any questions?
Now, what are we gonna do? We're just gonna sit on them for a while? We're not gonna, no plans to do anything with them?
All right, we just got them.
Just,
Okay, we better call the roll on this. Seems official.
Laporte,
yes.
McCartney,
Yes.
Ellery,
Yes.
Kinsfater.
Yes.
Kleeman,
Yes.
Koopa,
Yes.
Cedar,
Yes,
carried, Your Honor.
all right, thank you.
Okay, and I will bring back to council if anything develops over the next year, okay?
All right. Chief Raker's here. We got some special events. C is the special events permit for the National Multiple Sclerosis Society MS Walk.
Mayor, Council, I have received a request from Multiple Sclerosis Society for their walk, scheduled for May 12th. I have seen all their documentation, and I recommend you approve that event.
Motion to approve. Support.
Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right.
Opposed? D, special event permits St. Clair Art Association 47th Annual Art Fair.
And again, I've reviewed everything there. Their dates are the 23rd of June and 24th, and they have all their documents in, and I recommend that you approve that.
Motion to approve. Support.
Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
All right.
Opposed? E, approve special event permit St. Clair Art Association Pop-Up Gala Fundraiser.
This is a new one from the Art Association. They sent this request in. It's basically going to be a semi-formal picnic fundraiser. Everybody will pay around $30 a piece to come in and listen to music, have a picnic, and look at art. So their request is for Saturday, September 8th, and they submitted all the documents also. So I recommend
Make a
approving
motion,
that.
we approve.
Support.
Motion made, support. Any questions?
You see there's a liquor license marked for it. Who's,
Art Association.
Yeah, she marked liquor license. They're still in the process of planning. It's going to be a BYOB, and she's looking into that, so.
so that's state nonprofit.
Right.
Any other questions? Yes.
I do have one regarding.
Could you go up to the microphone for us, please, and give us your name and address?
My name is Steve Path, and I'm on the board at the Art Center, and also on my address, I live in Marysville. I got a quick question regarding the art fair. Is the Artful Dodger included in that?
It's in this request, yes.
Okay, because that wasn't mentioned here. Okay,
Thank you.
yep.
Other questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, Chief.
Thanks.
All right. We have just a couple appointments tonight, with your approval. ZBA Zoning Board of Appeals, reappoint Dan Seibel for a 3-year term expiring December 31st, 2020. We still have vacancies on Beautification Board of Review, Ward 1, Cemetery Board. Applications are at City Hall.
Move to approve that appointment, Your Honor.
Support.
Questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item number 9, claims and accounts for January 5/12/2018.
Hearing no questions, Your Honor, I make a motion to approve as presented.
Support.
Questions? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Go to number 10, public comment, public questions? Anyone have anything tonight?
Good evening. Once again, my name is Steve Path, and I live in Marysville. I'm on the board at the St. Clair Arts Association and also on the Art Fair. And I got a quick question for the council and everybody in this room. Who all has New Year's resolutions? Raise your hand. Anybody make New Year's resolutions? Anybody?
Sorta.
Just like a few people?
Sorta.
How many people attended our art fair last year? Raise your hands. Ah, that's a pretty good show. So, New Year's resolutions, for those of you who did not raise your hands, why don't we make that resolution? As you know, that we're in our 47th year, which is pretty remarkable, and we generally see around 20 to 25,000 people pass through our art fair. And so we're very honored to have that and to showcase downtown St. Clair. As you know, our gallery is a nonprofit organization, so this is a huge fundraiser for our gallery to help keep the doors open. So we really appreciate all the support from the community, and therefore we'd like to see everybody there. Now, the fair, as you know, we have artists that come in from in-state and out-of-state. And this year we love to showcase the talent, and we love to showcase the city of St. Clair and the mall. Our art fair is a juried art fair, which is kind of unique in itself, and I can tell you that my wife's a professional artist, and we're pretty well known. Last year we attended about 10 different art fairs throughout the state, and what we do is we go to these fairs to try to encourage artists to come to our fair. And to my surprise, last year, St. Clair Art Fair is well known in the art community, and along with a lot of artists throughout the state of Michigan. This fair is well known. So once again, we would really appreciate as much support as, especially from everybody within the city. Come on down and check out the fair. You know, we have music. We're planning a lot of events for kids this year. We're going to have some superheroes so that you can get like self-portraits. We're going to be doing rock painting for kids. We're also got some other events that are in the works for coming up. We're going to have possibly a art contest kind of set up for the high school and possibly college kids so that they can showcase their talents. We want to thank you guys for the use of the park, because that's really a big benefit. And I can say that a lot of the artists that we talk to consider the St. Clair Art Fair one of the best in the state. So we get a lot of praise for that. I think that's just about it. Is there any questions about the art fair? We hope to see everybody there. Come on down and check out our fair if you haven't in a couple years, and we'd appreciate all the help we can get. Again, once again, we are a nonprofit, so any support we can get, any publicity from everybody. We are on Facebook. We hope that you guys check out our Facebook page. We hope that you guys help get the word out, and anything you can do to help support our art, we would much appreciate it. The Artful Dodger, we took that over last year, and this is our second year. And that's another fundraiser that helps support our art gallery. Again, we're a nonprofit, so all the help we can get is much appreciated. And it's a fun event. And for those of you that want to get out and do a 5K in the morning, it's, again, well received again in our community as well. So we thank you.
Thank you, Steve, and thank your committee, and thanks for coming tonight, and good luck. Is there any other public questions or comments? All right, we will go to number 11. Mayor and Council, I have a couple things. I want to mention that Doris Eisen, she was 30 years on the election board, served in the city, passed away. Our thoughts and prayers out to her family. And of course, our Fire Chief Dave Westrick's father passed away, so our thoughts and prayers for them. And if I can convince him, and I told him earlier I was going to do this, and he said he'd poke his head out for a minute. The Community Leader of the Year. Look at that, Bill. We are so lucky to have Paul Dingaman around. It's about as much you get from him. Thanks, Paul. Congratulations. Anybody else have any?
I have a question for the chief. Chief, at the last meeting, you were asked to look at and review an opinion, a legal opinion on how the intersection at M29, Clinton Avenue, and the Voyager exit entrance would be viewed and handled. Have you come to a conclusion on that?
I did come to a conclusion.
Okay.
I went out there and looked, and if you look at the motor vehicle laws, that driveway is outside the intersection. It's south of the intersection. So anybody coming out of that driveway has to obey the traffic signal on M29 before they go.
There is no traffic signal. The one on M29?
Yes.
Okay. So
Yeah.
it's treated as a driveway.
It's a driveway.
So
The intersection is marked by the curbs of the intersecting street, and then it goes, and if there's no curbs, it goes crosswalk. Well, there's curb and crosswalk. MDOT put that stop line in there by the bridge for a courtesy to the driveway, so that it's not blocked. So that stop line is not the intersection, the crosswalk is the intersection.
So left-hand turn would be on the green signal going north and southbound M29, and a right-hand turn would be at your caution, just like you would a normal
You
coming out of a sidewalk.
Coming out going northbound, you gotta obey the traffic signal.
Correct.
If it's red, so you gotta stop.
It's
If
red going north and south, right?
Right.
Yeah, but can you
So you
turn?
can't
you
turn
can
right
turn-
on red there?
Can you turn right on red?
You can't turn right. You gotta, you're not at the intersection yet. You come out of the driveway.
Yep.
And you're at the red light.
Okay.
Then you have to wait.
So what about left-hand turn?
Left-hand turn, you can, as long as the road's clear, it's leaving the driveway. So the light could be red or green. You can turn left if there's no traffic.
So would that be an enforcement by all law enforcement agencies?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so Chief, I have to say it now, because if I'm in the driveway and it's red on north and south, that's what I go by. I gotta stop.
You gotta stop.
So if you want to go on Clinton from the driveway.
You
gotta
can't,
wait
you
for
can't
the
leave that driveway and go on Clinton. If the light, if M29's light is red, you have to pull out and stop. And then when the light turns green, you can turn left or go north. If the light is green on M29 when you're pulling out, you can pull out and make your left.
Thank you.
That driveway is.
Laporte's been doing it wrong all these years.
Well, he's not the only one.
What you have to understand is you can you only get a violation if there's a policeman there to see it, obviously, so.
Oh, thanks for that, Chief.
Obviously.
Thank you very much, Chief. That is much appreciated. Anybody else?
Hearing nothing else, Your Honor, I make a motion to adjourn.
Support.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Have a good night, everyone. Be careful. Watch the intersections.